Welcome back to our channel. It's quite interesting that NLC have stood by their word yesterday. There was a formal announcement that by midnight of today, they will be embarking on a strike action. And we know the reason why they're going on strike action. The attitude or the brutalization of Joe Ajero by the Imo State government resulted to all of these. And there are other issues that need to be settled by the federal government. But interestingly, there was a court order on Friday that debarring them from going for the strike action, but shockingly, even the judicial union have joined them. That's the most interesting part of all of this. But then, before we give you full details, I'm going to share with you all the unions who have joined, which means there is no hope by virtue of how many of them have joined. There is no hope of them returning because virtually everybody is right now standing by the NLC, and already they have sent a message across to the court and also to the federal government that hey, we are not just anybody that you can drag to court. We are not politicians. So the whole thing is getting very interesting. Guess what? The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria are part of this whole thing, and that is what makes it most interesting. And according to what they communicated, that Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, they said, following a directive by the Joint National Executive Council (NEC) of NLC/TUC, all branches and chapter of JUSUN, that's Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, to comply by ensuring our members remain at home until further directive. Sign MJ Kwashiki for General Secretary. So that alone shows you that no matter what, the judiciary is even under the union. But let me give you list of the sister unions who have aligned with what NLC demanded. The National Union of Electricity Employees. So anytime from now, if you have light, be ready. It's going to be taken away. ASU also are part of it. That's Academic Staff Union of University. Then the National Union of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institution Employees are part of it. We also have the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian University, that is SANU. They are part of the strike. I'm going to display all their write-ups. And this one is Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union. They are part of it. Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics. They are part of it. The National Union of Food Beverages and Tobacco Employees. They are also part of it. Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, which means the ports. We already seen some pictures like that. The port in Tinkan Island, port in Lagos, and they are not working right now. So it's getting very interesting. I must say, the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Polytechnics also, they are part of this strike. Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, they are also part of it. The National Association of Academic Technologists, they are part of it. The National Union of Postal and Telecommunication Employee, talking about NIPOS. So if you have seen your letter or anything, you are expecting to get it for today, they are out of work, and it's still further notice based on the communication we are seeing here. This one, Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees. So virtually everybody is a part of it. This one is Nigerian Union of Public Service Reportorial, Secretarial, Data Processing and Allied Workers. And this one is the National Union of Textile, Garment and Tailoring Workers of Nigeria. Almost everywhere right now, everywhere should be shut down. National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, which means hospitals will not be open. All of them are a part of what is going on, and several others like the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria. Very soon we will see that they will join also, because letter has been sent across to all chapter chairman and secretaries, Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria. So the National Assembly should be shut by now so that they understand the extent of what they have done and possibly come up with an apology, because that's the only way to prove that they need to respect the people. But then let's look at the communication when one of the NLC executive was interviewed. That's the General Secretary Emmanuel Ugboaja. He was interviewed, and this is what he has to say. And according to him, he says, "We are not politicians that people will challenge, go to court, go to court. It is not about going to court. We should have a culture of social dialogue, and what the LO, the oldest agency of the Union or United Nations, has deepened after the Second World War is to get people to discuss, is to get people to have conversation, not to be beaten up, not to be dehumanized, not to be threatened to go to court, go to court. No, the attitude is to have people have conversation around the table, and that is what we have been seeking with the government, around a roundtable discussion, a dialogue as social partners and not bully. What we are having now is a return to the SARS situation where people go about hoarded, brutalizing citizens, and then you are told to go seek redress in court. That is not what our courts are meant for. I mean, this is interesting, I must say. And right now, things are not the way it should be again. So my colleague is in the house, and we really want to talk about this because this issue is of great concern. Now that everybody has joined, do you think that the federal government and also the state government will be brought to their knees to do what they are expected to do by apologizing and telling them they are sorry, and possibly also sitting in a round table to discuss some of the pertinent issue which they have been agitating for?
Well, I will say, in all honesty, that executive have gotten used to absolute power, really, and I think that's one of the reasons why the likes of Opuzodima didn't see anything wrong with what happened. And in all sincerity, all of this happened. I didn't at all, at any time, get to see the presidency or even the president apologize or seek to know. The investigation was just done and nothing was done, nothing whatsoever. Instead they moved on with their ruling and all that. But if you ask me, if labor union, as in NLC, would continue not back down, they will get to see the power of the people. But if along the line they get a brown envelope, all it takes is a brown envelope by some powers that be within the rank and file of NLC, they will be the one to stop the strike. But if they are united, like they will say, a luta continua, then they can actually bring the executive to their needs, whereby they will now say, now, can we now have a roundtable discussion and table the needs of Nigerians the way it ought to be? But, if along this line they did 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and the government can infiltrate their ranks and give some brown envelope and say, people are suffering now, like some persons are giving the narrative right now on social media that Ajero did not even fight for the people, Nigerian people. Fuel increased to 600 and something. Instead, he stopped the strike. It is not that he was beaten, that he's not fighting for the strike, for the people. He's fighting for himself. And that's the narrative some of the government socialites are actually speaking. But the truth be told, if they successfully beat Ajero and this strike just holds 1-2 days and does not hold water, I can assure you NLC is gone, it's forgotten. But if they can hold the country or hold the executive to their knees by, when some of these unions you mentioned shut down, there is nothing happening in the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the governors will begin to say, what is going on? Ajero, the whole thing is down. Yeah. The next thing, you now begin to Aso Rock self want to know what's going on. Even if it means other executive arms, other governors telling Opuzodima publicly apologize. See, that's the only thing they want. Apologize. Because now, if the people begin to see that actually we have power, because this is another way of making the people realize we actually have power. So which means these guys can actually answer us if we decide to say we'll shut down. Then that's where now NLC will now come and say no. Our minimum wage is going to be this. I don't know how you're going to do it. If the legislative arm can get over 160 million naira worth of SUVs, why shouldn't you have minimum wage of 200,000? Without, oh, if we can welcome, what do you expect us to get money we are borrowing? Then reduce the cost of governance, because the people must enjoy. That is where you now come now to the roundtable discussion with your right fully held. But when you begin to say, I beg now, please now, and they begin to say, well, you should understand now, Nigerians should make sacrifices. But right, the executive are not making any sacrifice because you don't know your right. Now, with this, I would advise even the government to not allow this strike to go too far, because it's actually opening the eyes of that common Nigerian on the street or how powerful he is on the streets.
Wow, thank you so much. I think that was an explicit explanation on what to expect. That's where we like to leave it. Let's meet in our comment